Hi guys, John here. A couple of hours ago, Max and I were having a conversation that ended up being videotaped by him. I was unaware, but it ended up being some pretty interesting information. We wanted to share it with you. But upon watching it, I felt that we needed a bit of a prequel to introduce you to some of the concepts. So it all started by the fact that we were discussing lifestyle and how I was forced about a month ago to take a labor job because the season was slow and we needed to make some ends meet. So the concept of what doesn't kill you makes you stronger is what we were discussing, and the idea of being in a labor job, which I thought I could quite easily do, right up until I had my human rights violated. And this is where the story begins, in that I was being reamed by my boss over there for being 1 minute late, for being told when I could go to the washroom, for having illegally short breaks for a 10-hour shift. Now, I can go on and on. I can talk about the microwave food, I can talk about the fluorescent lighting, but the whole point is not the labor job. It's about, this is a metaphor for any type of negative position that you have or are involved in at the current moment. You may not even recognize what this type of job is doing to you and your health. From my perspective, I've been a health professional for 20 plus years. I saw it immediately. I began to not feel like myself. I began having night sweats. I began having little petty arguments with friends and family members, especially my girlfriend. I realized that the environment itself is not worth the sacrifice to my health. For myself, I'm educated, I can quit, I can find another position. Some of the people in that environment, I would say 95% of them, are stuck there. They're immigrants, they don't speak the language, they have no formal education. This, over time, breeds despair. Upon leaving myself, I immediately saw the difference in the health benefits. I stopped having night sweats, started having less arguing. I feel better because I'm allowed to cook my own food. I wasn't forced to use a microwave or buy off the truck. So again, these people do something over and over daily that breeds despair. No hope for them. Why? Because they don't even have the time in their week or their weekend, which is Saturday and Sunday, to recover. I guess that's why when we're talking about health and fitness, most people just kind of are deflated already. They have no hope, so they couldn't possibly see hope in something like fitness or health because they're so trapped. And that's what the next video is all about. So I hope this kind of answered some questions as a general introduction, and thanks for watching. Cheers. My boss will definitely get a conversation out of it, like, you don't have the fucking right to tell me when I can go to the bathroom, Jack. And if you think that you have some level of authority in here, grow up, because that's slavery. And whoever taught that bullshit to you is going to make a great article for my uncle who writes an article in the Toronto Star. People love human rights violation stories, but I totally feel for them. Like, I don't know them at all. In 3 weeks that I've been there, I think I've said 5-10 words to everybody, to the point now where I've started fucking around with them because they don't speak English. And the guy beside me every day comes up and he's trying to be my friend. He's 19 years old. Okay, doesn't he see it? Good day? I'm like, yeah, good day. What weekend? I said, yeah, it's the weekend. He goes, no, you do weekend. And I said, tomorrow I'm smoking a joint the size of my arm. And he says, huh? I said, joint, size of arm. And he says, huh? I said, pumpkins, Halloween? He goes, yeah. So it's like, and it's totally reverse discrimination because everybody speaks Vietnamese and some people speak Chinese, but they can somehow communicate with each other. And I'm one of 3 people that speaks English, or 4 people. And I get talked behind my back. It's kind of a funny reverse. I understand, not to say they're bad, I'm not judging them. North Americans have done it to them for fucking generations, and to blacks, and again, human rights violations are everywhere. But to see it firsthand and to have it reversed, to actually feel it, that's a pretty good lesson. I think that's something that, for the most part, most people don't get the opportunity to experience. My instructor, Maurice, he does manual labor, and I see what it did to him 30 years being forced to do it. basically got stuck in his 30s lifting potato sacks out of trucks all day long. Could do it in his 30s, no problem. In his 40s, late 40s, started breaking down. Now the guy's almost 60 years old, and he's going to be forced into having leg surgery, foot surgery, just to be able to walk. So is that shit worth it? You know, to sit there and go, yeah, I'm smart because this is what I've turned into. At 60, I'm forced to lift 80-pound sacks of potatoes out of a truck. It's despair. And so he wanted to become a personal trainer, which, in my opinion, doing it in a gym setting is just another version of despair. Because it doesn't provide you with all the resources to have a life, plain and simple. And he makes about $100 a day doing that, and he's forced to work 5-6 days a week sometimes. Translate that into a 24-hour period to recover from 6 days of labor. It doesn't happen. Your body's not recovering. It's just breaking down, breaking down, breaking down. So, I mean, the strategies in that situation and talking about what you can do as a solution to at least fix your body is more on the mobility and flexibility side. It's not you need a workout. You've been working out for 50 hours. You don't need more work. You need to do something to help your body recover faster on your days when you come home. 20 minutes, stretching, movement, get all your joints and your limbs back to normal, hang from a bar so you can decompress your body, and the reverse. If you have like that elevation, your feet get hooked into the gravity machines, you just kind of hang and it decompresses your spine and everything, also very good at any age, but especially over 40 in a labor position, definitely we would have to do that. Yeah, I think it's a catch-22. It is, because I don't have a solution for it. I just recognize that it's very, very, very bad on the body to be stuck in that type of environment. And once you recognize it, just like anything else, I guess, once you recognize you're trapped, then you can come up with a strategy for escape. But until you recognize that you're actually trapped, you're just sitting there. There's no urgency to escape. There's no need, because you haven't recognized that you're in trouble. So until you do, then you're stuck. And that's despair. So in order to change despair into hope, recognition becomes the first step. Accepting that, yes, this sucks. Sometimes it sucks. But staying in it is what sucks more. Not have it happening. Crappy things happen to us all the time. But staying in the crap is the real misery, is the real despair. So once that's recognized, then you can formulate a plan for getting out of it. Does that make sense? Can we videotape it?